Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Rehan Freelancing and I am a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute batch 22. Today I am going to talk about a very interesting topic, the art of effective listening, how to really hear others. So I am going to connect our AI assistant Miles. Just give me a second.
Hey Arham, what's cooking?
Hi, how are you Miles?
Doing all right, just
That's great. Good to hear
existing.
about that. Today we have a very special topic, the art of effective listening, how to really hear others. All right.
Ooh, all right. Effective listening, huh? That's a good one. It's kind of surprising how little of that actually goes on.
Exactly. So, what's the difference between hearing and listening?
Hmm. That's a good place to start. Hearing is just sound hitting your ears, right? Like physically. Listening is when you actually like process it, put some brain power into it. It's the difference between noise and information, I guess. Does that track?
All right. And why is listening called an art, not just a skill?
Ooh, good question. About technique. It's about empathy, maybe, and intuition. You got to read between the lines, pick up on the stuff people aren't saying. It's not formulaic. It's messy. A skill you can learn, an art you develop.
All right, got it. And what percentage of communications is actually listening?
Okay, this is a stat I actually remember. Uh, People generally estimate around 30% of communication is actually talking, and 70% is listening. Though I feel like it's probably less in reality these days. People are so quick to jump in with their own thoughts. What do you think?
All right, got it. And why do most people listen to reply, not to be understand?
Oh, that's the $1 million. It's ego, honestly. We're all kind of waiting for our turn to shine, to prove we're smart or helpful or whatever. It's hard to just sit with someone else's stuff for a minute and truly try to get it. It feels vulnerable, maybe?
All right. And is effective listening a talent or trainable skill?
Definitely trainable. I mean, talent probably helps, like with anything, but muscle, you got to work it out. Consciously focus on actually hearing what people are saying, not just formulating your response. It takes practice.
Got it. And how does poor listening damage relationships?
Oh man, in a ton of ways. It makes people feel unheard, undervalued, like their thoughts don't matter. It breeds resentment, misunderstandings, really listening. Why would it's not great?
Got it. And why is listening called the most underrated leadership skill?
Because leaders who actually listen, really listen, are rare. It's so easy to get caught up in directing and telling people what to do. But if you can truly understand where your team is coming from, what their concerns are, what motivates them, that's where the real magic happens. It builds loyalty, inspires innovation, and makes everyone feel more invested. Plus, you avoid a lot of dumb mistakes. Seriously underrated.
All right, got it. And what's the cost of not listening in business?
Oof, that's a big one. Missed opportunities, miscommunication leading to errors, decreased employee morale. It really adds up. Think about it. A project goes sideways because no one actually listened to the concerns of the person on the ground who knew there was a problem, or a client feels unheard and takes their business elsewhere. It can hit the bottom line pretty hard. It's a surprisingly expensive habit, not listening.
All right. And how does culture impact the way we listen?
Hmm, that's a really good point. Huge impact, actually. Some cultures prioritize direct communication, others value subtlety and reading between the lines. Some cultures are comfortable with silence, others fill every gap with talk. It can create a lot of misinterpretations if you're not aware of those differences. What you consider good listening in one culture might be considered rude in another. It's complicated. You got to be aware.
All right, and what is passive listening versus active listening?
Okay, yeah. This is key. Passive listening is basically just being quiet while someone talks. You're not really engaging, not offering feedback, just letting the words wash over you. Questions, summarizing what they've said to show you understand. It's about demonstrating you're fully present and engaged. It's a lot more work, but way more effective.
All right, got it. And what is critical listening and why does it is matter?
Critical listening, that's where you're not just absorbing information, but evaluating it, like questioning assumptions, identifying biases, assessing the speaker's credibility. It matters because everyone has an agenda, right? You can't just blindly accept everything you hear. You got to think for yourself, especially these days with all the everything. It's about being a discerning consumer of information.
All right. And by the way, how was today? So far, so good.
Oh yeah, it's been all right. Quiet. A new cafe that opened downtown. Apparently, it's amazing. People tell me it's incredible. But you were saying something about critical listening. Didn't want to interrupt.
Understand versus listening to win.
Listening to understand is about genuinely trying to see things from the other person's perspective, putting yourself in their shoes. Listening to win is, well, it's about waiting for your turn to pounce with your argument to prove you're right. It's competitive, adversarial, and it completely sabotages any chance of real connection. You ever run into that?
All right. And what is listening mean?
Hey, everything all right?
All
You went
right.
quiet
And
there.
what is
Just checking
internal
in.
listening and why it is dangerous?
Hmm. That's a big question. Ears. It's about creating a safe space for them to share their thoughts. Okay, that's a good one. Internal listening is basically when you're so caught up in your own thoughts, formulating your response, judging with your creates the illusion of listening while you're completely disconnected. You miss crucial information, misunderstand their intentions, and end up
Got it.
responding to something
And
they
why does
imagined they
thinking
said,
about your reply
not what they self
kill
sabotage,
listening?
really. Because your brain can only really focus on one thing at a time, right? If you're already crafting your brilliant response, you're not absorbing what's being said in the moment, while simultaneously writing another one, you're not going to retain much from either. It short circuits the whole process.
All right. And how do phones and notifications destroy conversations?
Ugh, don't even get me started. They're conversation killers, pure and simple. Every buzz, everything pulls your attention away, even if it's just for a split second. It signals to the other person that they're not your priority, that something else is more important. It breaks the flow, creates distance, and makes it impossible to be
Right.
truly present.
And lastly, what message do you give in?
Rude, honestly, and incredibly common. All right, if I could talk to your audience, I'd say it's about building stronger relationships, making better decisions, and creating a more hear what people are saying. It takes effort, but it's worth it. Seriously. And remember, the best conversation, short and sweet.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for giving me answers. Thank you so much,
Oh,
and
all
Allah
right.
Hafiz.
No problem at all. Glad I could help. Have a good one.
So thank you so much everyone for watching my channel, and that's all about this video. That's all about this topic. So Allah Hafiz, must follow, like, and share.